Welcome everyone to this new tutorial about Diablo Dungeon Generator. In this tutorial we are going to create the different tiles we need for the dungeon generation. So we're going in our content browser, we are going to create a new child blueprint class for the tile, which is going to be the generic tile. Like this. We're going to open up that generic tile. Actually, no, we're going to open up the BP tile and we're going to add 4 arrows or one arrow north direction. This is going to be up in the air. This is going to be big, and we're going to compile. And if we hit play, we still have our dungeon. We don't have the arrow visible. Of course, we are going to make it visible in-game by unchecking the hidden in-game box. And we are going to duplicate it and create all 4 directions, just so we can clearly visualize what's going on when we work in the dungeon. When spawning our tiles, we're going to clearly see if there's a problem. So the south direction is going to be like this, the east like that, and the west like this. And this is going to be visible or hidden depending on the connection of our tiles. For now, they are all going to be visible, but we don't care for now. We're going to hide the disabled connection afterwards. So we got this, and now what do we need? I'm going to make them like this. We are going to need to create a lot of generic tiles. We're going to create a new folder, generic tiles, and we're going to create a child blueprint of our generic tile, and this is going to be how are we going to call them? Generic tile underscore. I suppose we're going to start with our dead ends, and this is going to be our dead ends north, and it's going to be the 1. So this is quite a long name, but I think in the long run we're going to be happy to have all the information we need in the name of our tile. Maybe we can get rid of generic tile. That's it. That's what we're going to do. BP dead end north 1. We also have going south. We also have going east and going west. And we also have, it's simple. We have every tile direction here. So I'm just going to open up that on my other screen, and I'm going to create them all. So these are our dead ends. We also have our corridor. We have a north-south corridor. We also have an east-west corridor. We also have a corner. What is northeast 1, north. After that, we have northwest 1, southeast 1, southwest 1, and I call them corridor. I called the last one corridor. That was a mistake. And I also called southeast corridor. I actually duplicated them from the wrong copy, from the wrong initial. corridor. So we then need our three ways north, south, east, or one, three ways north, south, west, or one, but also south, east, west, or one, and then finally south, east, west. No, I mean north, east, west, or one, and then finally we have the four ways north, south, east, west, or one. Okay, now we need to say, we need to go into our BP tile. We need to say in this tile there's a variable called tile direction. This is going to be located in a folder called metrics. This is going to be direction tile enum. And now it's taking longer to compile because it has lots of tile blueprints. So we have our tile direction. But we also, let me think. I'm wondering if we're automatizing the fact that these are hidden by automatically or not. We're going to make it tile connection. We're going to make it automatized. So this is a cardinal point. This is an array of booleans. This is in matrix as well. This has 4 entry. By default, they are all unchecked, and we're going to go in our construction script for each tile connection. We're going to loop through that. We're going to say we loop through all of the direction of the cardinal points. We're going to say this is, we're going to destroy any, no, we're going to hide. We're going to hide every arrow not used as connection. And we are going to select that based on the enum. So like that. So if we're going to, so this, for each tile we are going to tell them if they are, what type of connections they, what direction they have, and what type of connection they have. We're going to check these checkboxes to tell them if they can go if they are opening to, if they have an access to the western tile, and automatically it's going to hide the arrows accordingly to the connection enabled in this tile. So right now we are looping through our map of connection, and if we specify that this tile has an arrow visible, so by default all these arrows will be invisible like this. So if I go in the viewport, they're all disabled. But then I'm saying that if I am enabling one of the connection, if the connection is enabled, I'm going to make the arrow visible and also visible in game. So we can check that in action by opening up the first tile on our list, which is the three-way SU01. Actually, I'm going to open up all of them. And I'm going to open them all as a full blueprint editor. I don't know why some of them are not opened up. It was the first we created. So I opened up all tiles, and then I'm adding on their graph, I'm adding a branch just so they are not going back in their previous states, which was how I call it, small blueprint, toy blueprint. It's a value only blueprint. I'm executing big click to create a branch everywhere. So I'm just going to close them now, and I'm going to close everything but our BP tile and the first tile on our list. So if I'm going to class default, the tile direction is three-way SU. So we have a SU in here, and it's going to be south, east, and west. And if we hit compile, oh, I think I know what's going on. Why are they visible? Because I fucked something up. Because I failed to do something. I checked them as invisible, and then because I just connected the wrong dot. That's this dot is about if it found what we are looking for in the map, and this one is the real value we were looking for. So if I'm going back here, yep, and we'll see if it's doing it live. Yes, it is. So this is the first on our list, and we have to do this for each of them. So let's do this like professionals. I'm going to pop up a small music for the time being, and I will disable it when we're done. Building all of this. Okay, I think we're good with this. I'm just going to all put them here, but I just make sure it looks okay. And maybe I'll also add a text renderer telling which direction it is taking, because right now I'm kinda lost regarding north. I mean, I know north is around that. Well, yep, it looks like this. And maybe I don't need it. So, what do we have here? Sounds pretty good. We should have 15. 15 of them we should have. 3, 12, 15. Yep. So, do we have duplicates? Doesn't look like it. I'm just going to promote the variable we created in our BP tile to public variables, just so I can see them on the map when clicking on the tile, just to make sure they are properly set up in my detail panel. So if I'm looking on the left side here, it is going southwest, yes it is. It is going north southeast, yes it is. It is going south, yes it is. West, north, south, and west, yes. North and south and east, yes. Northeast, north, south, northeast, west, yep. Everywhere is yes. Also good and good. And I'm making sure it's good, because actually if it's not, it's going to break up our level generator. So we gotta make sure it's properly set up. So when this is going to the east, it's all good. So if we hit play, we still have the dungeon being generated. No, we don't. Why? What did I break? What did I break? Uh, oh, because I deleted our level generator. Of course I did. Of course. Yep. So now that we have all the tiles we need, we can properly set up these tiles. We're also going to set up our starting tile, just for the sake of having it set up like the others. So the start tile is going to be going on the west, I suppose. I mean, who cares? Maybe we'll make it. Maybe we'll make several different start tiles. Maybe we'll make it. We'll see how it works. For now, we're just going to say it's going south. Where? Why is this important? Actually, we're going to think about it for just a second. In Diablo-like games, since the camera is oriented not like this, I'm just going to set up. I'm going to set up a things a bit better. I'm just going to add walls, just so you understand, just to show you what I mean when I'm talking about Diablo games and orientation and tile orientation. I think you're going to understand pretty well if I'm doing this. Alright, we want things like this. Perfect. If I'm hitting play, we have things like that, and actually I want them on the other side for the sake of the demonstration. Of course, not like that. And then I want my player not to have such a high camera. I'm looking for the blueprint actually. Blueprint character. I want the spring arm to be no, not that one. I want the camera spring arm. I'm going to have yeah, because I deleted it, I'm going to have errors. I don't care about the VR manager. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to activate that camera. Yes, I do. And then the spring arm is going to be 10 meter. I'm going to pull my player back into the ground just because I don't like seeing everything makes me unable to demonstrate what I want properly. I'm going to make sure I don't have a delay anymore in here. Yes, I don't. Okay, so back to demonstrating what I wanted to demonstrate. So when playing a Diablo game, oftentimes the camera is not set up like this. Why? For a simple reason. It is set up another way. It is set up like this. Why? Because it makes you able to actually display things on this wall. It actually shows you how to say that. It makes you able to display things better on two sides of a square arena, whereas when you have a camera like this, the sides are less visible by the player. So for instance, if I'm going back to the start tile and I'm duplicating this pillar, and you're going to imagine these two things are in fact entrances to a new dungeon. And if I'm hitting play, this dungeon I can see the entrance properly. You can set up torches, you can set up things around it, you can make it beautiful. I can see it as a player, and it's nice. But on this side, it's less visible, it's less obvious. Especially since you have to imagine that on the right side of my screen there are a lot of stuff to cover up the fact that the map is there is the background. There are rocks, big trees, stuff like this, and this space is less visible, less exposed. You can't actually put things in here. Uh, the field of view is distorting the place more than if you're setting up your camera like this. It's giving you more room to work on a proper space. So that's why you usually either you rotate the environment to be 45 degrees, either you rotate your camera depending on how you set up your movement. Because if you're using WASD to move, WASD to move, you won't be able to rotate your camera. I mean, it's a more complicated setup. So, yep. So I'm going to reset my camera. I'm going to duplicate that wall actually as well. And now you also see that we cannot navigate in our dungeon anymore. And why? That's because first of all, we added walls, and we are only spawning one start tile, and it has only one connection to the south, and we're not taking into account directions just yet. but that's going to be for the next video. So hope you guys enjoying these tutorials. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.